Let's get ready to rumble!
Hey everybody, I'm Rick. Welcome to Saturday Hockey Talk. And I think for the rest of the summer, we're going to be doing this every Saturday because the playoffs, I don't think there are going to be any more games on a Saturday night. We're down to 5 more at most left anyways for playoff games. So we're going to talk about that tonight. If you want, talk about the finals. It's been good so far, that's for sure. We're going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about a few things for the channel, plans for the summer. We're actually looking for some people, so we're going to talk about that. There's merchandise and memberships to talk about and that kind of stuff. And I realize I'm talking to myself right now. Nobody's here yet. It's 9 o'clock on Saturday night, and that happens often till people show up. When you do show up, if you're here, I see a couple of people are here. Say hi. Let me know you're here, and we'll go from there. So, like I said, I'll talk about some plans I've got. We are looking for people who want to do podcasts. For a lot of you, by the way, hey there, Guru. Hey, Guru. Renegade Man. How's it going, guys? So we're looking for people who are interested in podcasting. Now, I know most of you guys that I'm going to talk to are Habs fans, but I know everybody's got, most people have a second team they like or whatever. If you're interested in podcasting and you've got a team we're looking to add, that's on Don't Puck with Media, our other channel. We're looking to have a podcast for every team. So we're looking to make that basically a podcast channel and a live stream channel. So we're looking to find a podcast crew for every team in the league. Right now, we've got 2, the Flyers and the Bruins. We don't have a Habs podcast over there, so we're looking for a Habs crew. I don't want to do another podcast for the Habs. We already do one here on Talking Habs. So I'm looking for a crew. I will produce the show with them. And that's what we're looking for. Anyway, we'll talk about it a little more when there's more people here as well. But if you're already listening to me and you're interested at all in trying your hand at a podcast, well, this is an opportunity to do so. So just reach out to me at the email that's in the description, talkinghabs@gmx.com, and we can go from there. Anyways, if anybody's interested. Hey, Roger, how's it going? So, like I said, tonight we'll talk about the draft is approaching. I'll give you my ideas on what the Habs are going to do. I'd love to hear your guys' ideas on what you're expecting maybe Montreal's going to do at the draft. That's what we're going to talk about. You can see I'm well prepared. I mean, I'm prepared and not. This show is always very loose and open for whatever you guys want to talk about. That's what Saturday Hockey Talk is for. We're basically starting a new season, I guess, for it, because now hockey's basically over. The games are basically over, so yeah. All right, so let's go from there. You guys that are out there, talk to me. You got any questions, anything you want to know, anything you're curious about, anything you want to tell me, now's the time to do that. Hey, Tony, how's it going, Tony? And Renegade Man says 1% chance that Hughes will keep the 16th and 17th pick. It's probably higher than that, but I agree with you. I don't think that I don't think they're making those picks. I think for sure. I don't think anything's for sure. More than likely, they are not making more than one of those 2, but I kind of think they're not going to make either of them. So I agree with you on that. It's the perfect opportunity for them to find the player they're looking for that second line center. And now it's not going to be like as guaranteed that's going to happen because he may be trying really hard and making a lot of phone calls, talking to the GMs and all that stuff, and still may not be able to make a deal. So, But I think he's really trying. He's going to anyway, that's for sure. I imagine they're working on it now. If to swing a deal on draft day, it takes a few weeks of talking and stuff to get that to work out. Renegade also says he might keep one of the first round picks, but he wants that 2C for Demidov. No, without a doubt. Believe me, if he can get that guy, for one pick, he'll do that. He's not going to give 2 picks if he doesn't have to. That's for sure. But for the guy that I believe, the quality of the guy that I believe they're looking for, you may have to give those 2 first picks. And then, maybe he uses one on a 2C. I think they're looking for other positions as well. He may find he uses the other one to find maybe a right shot defenseman. Who knows? So, but I do think more than likely they're not using those picks. Hey there, Joe. Joe, I'm glad you showed up because I noticed when you took your membership, I wasn't expecting you to have taken the top one, which means I owe you a poem. So if you have any ideas, like anything you might want me to write a poem about, let me know, or else I'm just going to come up with something. But I owe you a poem for every month that you have that membership. So I appreciate that you took that membership. I really wasn't expecting anybody to take it, but I'm very happy that you did. And so I owe you a poem. If you have anything specific you want me to sort of write about, a basic theme, let me know. Otherwise, I will take it on myself. Renegade Man says also, in a perfect world, the Habs would get a 2C, keep the 16th and the 17th pick, Mayu and Beck. But that's unrealistic, and that is extremely unrealistic, right? As good as we think Hughes is, I don't see how he gets that guy without moving some of those pieces. I don't think he's going to have to move all of that, but I got to think that the first round picks, from what I'm hearing, and I imagine you guys are too, the first round picks and the I just realized if I put that on, okay. The first round picks and Mayu seem to be in play. I'm just going to switch myself around here because I keep forgetting about this new feature that they have. There. That your comments should show up here. Now, I didn't click it before we started. It's not showing up, so I don't know how that works. Anyway, I'm just talking out loud here. In the perfect world, they would keep as many of those pieces as possible. I mean, it's fully possible, I would think, that they move only one of the 2 picks and Mayu. I think they move Beck only if they have to. I don't think Beck is a guy they want to move. I don't think Mayu is a guy they want to move, but they will if they have to, because if you want to get a quality player, sorry, but you got to give up something. Joe, yeah, I mentioned that. Yeah, I think they're looking for a right-hand D, but I think maybe possibly the right-hand D that they would acquire would be somebody with some experience. Wouldn't be a young guy. So do they have to move a first-round pick? Will it be a signing? They could sign a guy, a free agent. Maybe they make an offer sheet. To do the offer sheet, though, they have to make sure, if in case you're not aware of that rule, the picks that you would have to give up, to acquire the player, they have to be your own picks. So if you've got to give, say, a first, a second, and a third, you have to have a first, a second, and a third of your own. You can't have them acquired, from another team. Very complicated. How many second round picks? I don't know for sure off the top of my head, but I want to say 2. I want to say 2 seconds, 2 thirds. and the 2 firsts. And I could be wrong on that, but I don't know why I'm thinking that, but I that's what I have in my head. In this draft, everything I'm hearing about this draft, the top 10, solid, but it drops after that. So by them giving up 16 and 17, they're not losing that much. Considering, what did I hear? More than likely, if they take their two picks there, they'll be lucky if they get a guy that's a 4th liner, a 3rd liner, maybe. That's what I'm hearing. So does that mean that and that might be one of the reasons why they'd have to use both to acquire the guy? Joe, I'm good with that too. Who knows what kind of deal he'll have to put together, but he's got the main point is Montreal's got the draft picks, so they got the draft capital and they've got the assets in prospects to make a deal, make multiple deals if they have to. So yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be an exciting draft. Are they going to make a deal at the draft? We don't know, but man, it's going to be exciting. The expectation of the fact that they might make that deal there. It'll be yeah. So draft day is the 27th for the first round. I believe it's at night. So I think it's at night. I believe at 7:00 it'll start. We're going to be doing a live stream for that. So it's not. I mean, there's implications for Montreal, obviously, in the fact that they might make a trade. But then we've got Alex with the Flyers, Alex and Eric, and got Cam with the Bruins. And both those teams have high picks. So that's going to be exciting. So it should be a good stream. I'm looking forward to it. It's coming up in, in 3 weeks, in 20 days. So that means in 20 days, it is, what's today? It's Friday night, I guess. I guess it's a Friday night for round 1, and then the rest of the draft on Saturday. And then the draft, I guess 2 days after the draft is done, we got Free Agent Frenzy Day. So it's going to be a very exciting time. Free Agent Frenzy Day will also be doing a live stream. But that one will be, I'll probably be doing 2, maybe 3 on that day. 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, potentially 1 in the evening. We'll see. Now, Free Agent Frenzy Day is going to be Tuesday, I guess. It's either a Monday or Tuesday. I'm not sure. All right, how we doing with people? All right, I guess I'll start talking about a few things. There's a few more people here, so I'm going to repeat. We're looking for podcast crews. For Don't Puck with Media, that's our other channel. We're looking to have a podcast for every team in the league. We've got Flyers and Bruins going right now. I'm not transferring Hab Normals over there, so Hab Normals will stay on Talking Habs. Looking for a Habs podcast crew. Maybe it's just one person. You don't have to be a crew. If you think you want to try a podcast on your own, we're open to that. So we're looking for a Habs crew. We're looking for a crew for the other 29 teams as well. So if you're interested and you think you might, be able to pull off doing a podcast and you're a fan of not just the Habs, or you got another team, reach out to us at for me at the email down in the description, talkinghabs@gmx.com, and we'll talk about it. What's this here now? Renegade Man. I'm not too crazy about moving Mayu, but he is expendable. Bacher out of the question. I agree with that. And listen, Bacher is pretty much expected to make the team out of camp next season. So they're not trading Bacher. I would be totally shocked if they're trading Bacher. But Mayu, unfortunately, is expendable, and it's just the way things go sometimes. So Tony, you don't see it in how? So he says everyone's talking about a 2C. I don't see it. He says going to be a lot of unhappy fans. So you're saying you don't see them being able to acquire a 2C? When you say that, what I think you're thinking is you're trying to think of what's out there, guys that are playing. But I don't know if you're thinking beyond that. Guys that we don't necessarily think of for this, that they've got their eye on. Younger guys, maybe an older guy, I don't know. But sometimes you look at it and go, well, I don't see them being able to do anything. But there are guys out there. There are guys out there, whether they can swing a deal or whatever is what kind of remains to be seen. But I'll tell you on the point you're making, though, in the postseason, I guess, wrap up that Gorton and Hughes had, they did say that they will not make a deal just to make a deal. The deal has to be the right one. Everything has to be right about it, or they can wait another year. They feel, and I think they're right, that they've got 2 seasons to find this guy. And I don't want them to make a deal just to make fans happy. If they don't feel that guy is available, then they don't make a deal and they try it again next year. That's what I think they're going to do. And but I think there are guys out there, but can they swing a deal? I don't know. Hey, David, how's it going, David? What team doesn't want a good two-way second line center? Of course. What team doesn't want a great right D? Competition is very strong, and the price will be very high in salary and expected returns. This is all true. There's no doubt that this is all true. It doesn't mean that they can't find the guys that they are potentially looking for. Right? First of all, some teams have no money and they can't make moves and they can't do things like that. Some teams, I guess basically some teams just don't have the cap. Even with the cap going up, some teams are really cap strapped. Is that the right word? So, it's not just like it's going to be a lot of competition. Yeah, all that stuff. But Montreal's got the draft capital. They've got the prospects. They've got the GM who's a shark. They have the ability to make deals. But will they be able to close on a deal? Maybe not. Maybe not. And you're right about the second line center. Not going to be easy. I mean, obviously not going to be easy. So some teams that are looking for a second line center don't have the assets, don't have the draft capital. They don't have the ability maybe to make that deal. Montreal does. That's a step. That's like a what's the word I'm looking for? It's an advantage for them. My opinion. Greetings, Mr. Phil. How's it going, Phil? Nice to see tonight. No game. That bot's not. I'll say that now, and next thing you know, bot's going to come in. But thank God that bot didn't come in tonight. And I'm thinking of it because Phil has one of the wrenches. Phil's a mod, so it made me think of that. All right, so let's see. Plans for the summer. I'm not even sure what I'm like. I don't have anything big planned. Phil's here, so it reminds me we're going to try to organize a meet and greet. I don't know what you call it. A get together somewhere, probably out here on the West Island, for the local subscribers. Get together, have some beers, whatever else, and just shoot the shit and whatever, somewhere around here. Phil keeps bugging me about it, and I do want to do this, so hopefully we're going to get that organized for this summer. So that's one of the plans. As far as programming, Well, as I said about the other channel, we're looking to basically just be doing podcasts and live streams. I don't think anything's going to change over there. It won't take any of my video time away. I'm going to try to get back into the swing of doing videos. I'm working on doing that. I'm working on one right now. I'm almost done, as a matter of fact. I just have a little bit more work on it. Should be out tomorrow morning. It is my some of my most hated players through the years. I wrote a poem, so it's either one or two verses about each player, whatever. So that's coming out tomorrow. So hopefully you'll look for that. For the members, tomorrow, doing a live stream. So members only live stream tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Now I realize there's only, I think 6 people that can access that. But that's fine. I'm going to find something to do while I wait for people to show up. When you do show up, you'll have pretty, not exclusive really, but I mean, it's only going to be a few of you. And we'll talk and whatever. And I'm going to start doing that once a week. Once every 2 weeks. So that's something. And I got a members only reaction vid coming up. I don't know which video yet. I haven't picked it out. I was supposed to do it today. I'll get that done tomorrow. So there's that. And speaking of members and memberships, if you might be interested in taking a membership, they start at $1.99. For that $1.99, you get members only videos, badges and stuff like that. There's small stuff, but you get members only videos. There's the next level up is $4.99. For that, you get everything in that first level, plus you get these members only live streams. And then there's the third option, which is the one Joe took. It's $10.99. I don't really expect a lot of people to take it, but for that one, you get everything underneath it, and I write you a poem specifically for you every month that you're a member in that category. So Joe's going to get the first one. And thanks again, Joe, for that. And that's what memberships are. So if you're interested, I'd appreciate it if you want to take a membership. Just click that join button and basically you go from there. There's a video, I believe it'll take you to, which explains everything. I did a video for that. I changed it. If you have checked it out before, it's a new video. So you might want to look there. There's a link in the description for the members only playlist. So it'll take you there. You can see what's there, and that might help you decide whether you want to take a membership or not. You can see what kind of videos and stuff that you get for that. I gotta say, I did that. I looked at the list, and there were way more videos in there than I thought I did. So there you go. It's got to be the drugs. So members, now there's also something else I'm doing, and going in on the merch. There is I've got one site hooked up. I'm going to be doing a Canadian site soon. It's just that I've got to pay for that site, so I'm not ready to do that just yet, but it's coming up really soon. There's a link for the merch in the description, and just there's a little sample of some of the merch that's there. And I'm putting some, if you see the one if you're looking at it here on the left, top left corner, it says Drinking Buddies. So that's artwork from Ghosts of Habs Past. So I've got a couple of more t-shirts with some of that artwork coming out. If you do go on the site and look at the store, there's collections. I think I've got 6 of them where they're grouped up, and you can see if you're interested in one theme or whatever, so you can see that. I've got this Drop the Gloves thing there. You see the t-shirt under there. I've got a couple of different versions of that. You got mugs, got Talking Habs, got the Don't Puck with Media, and there's the mayonnaise, which might, if it gets traded, it's going to screw me up, but the t-shirt up on the other corner, it's mayonnaise. So there's that. Anyway, these are some of the things that are available. Like I said, links are in the description. If you're interested, just head on over there. If you make an order of $75 or more, shipping is free. So I pay for the shipping. They don't. I end up paying for it, but that's fine. If you make a big order, You shouldn't pay for shipping. What else is there? Okay, let's get back to my plans. I'll get back to comments here. Let me read a couple of them that came in. ABL killed you to see Marchand and the game. I know, me too. I'm glad I didn't stick around because I missed most of the first OT because I was making supper. I came back, there was just a few minutes left, but I watched the second OT, and it's like, man, I'm glad I didn't stay on. And for it to end that way, right? Marchand, who I was cheering for in the previous series, but I mean, I'm not cheering for Florida this time. But man, he's a UFA. I didn't think he'd get big money. He's going to get good money. He's performing in the playoffs, as much as I hate to say it, but he's performing. You think this could be the season of the offer sheet? Also says BL. Yeah, I kind of mentioned it before. I mentioned it, I think, in the game last night. I think we will see more offer sheets this year. Yeah. Now the thing is, we may not. How do I want to put that? We may not see as many as we think, because the only ones we'll see and hear about are the ones that the players sign. But I think there's going to be a lot of them made to players more than ever, but we won't know fully because unless the player signs, we don't know about it. So some of these guys get offer sheets and they don't sign them. We never hear about it, right? So yeah, I think the offer sheet's going to start getting used more. Yeah. Tony says the 2C will come at the draft. They will move up at the draft. See, moving up, I don't agree with you. And there's a reason why. Not easy to move up at the draft. So moving up is fucking expensive. And I don't think Montreal needs to move up at the draft. We've done that part. The draft isn't where they're going to move the needle to get to where they need to go right now. They've done that part, and they did a good job at it. Right now, they need to acquire NHL players to fill a couple of spots, in my opinion, and they're not going to be able to do that by drafting guys. So, and to move in to get the quality that you might be thinking that they would acquire by moving up, they got to move into the top 10, and that is not easy. And more than likely, you got to move into the top 5, and that's almost impossible. The players, the return for the team giving up a top 5 pick at the draft is going to be immense, and I don't think Montreal would do that. So no, I don't think they're going to move up. And if you're saying, well, they can move up to 14 or what, it doesn't pay, I don't think, to do that. Joe says she ended up watching second period onwards in the pub. Nice. The collective dejected feelings after that was expressed on both floors of the pub. So I guess most people there were going for Edmonton. Yeah, listen, it was a disappointment. It definitely was. Edmonton now has to win a game in Florida, which I think they're fully capable of. So we'll see what happens. But I wasn't. I was disappointed with the result. I have to wait through. And it was, if I'm correct, it was deep into the second OT as well, wasn't it? So anyway, listen, that's playoff hockey. That's all you can say. One thing's for sure, that series is not over yet. I don't think after that loss or that win that Florida is now going to run away with it next 3 games, and that's it. It's done. I don't think that's going to happen. I still think we're going to get a 7-game series. Whoops, I wanted to go here first. Habs would want a 2C that is more experienced rather than draft one. Well, because drafting one doesn't do what they need. They need a guy now. You draft one, you're not getting him right now. We drafted one last year that they're waiting on. He's not going to be ready next year. So no, drafting a center for that spot's not what they're looking to do. Whoops. BL says, even moving up gets you a ready for prime time 2C. Trade or offer sheet are in Hughes' future. Even moving up doesn't get you a ready for prime time 2C. Isn't that what you mean? Oh, they just put it there. Right. And I agree with that. And that's what I was just saying. So 100%. You know, are they going to offer sheet? I'm going to say I probably not. Not okay. If you're thinking of Mason McTavish, well, the Ducks have 38.6 million in cap space. What are you going to offer Mason McTavish that they can't match? Unless you're going to give him something ridiculous, which is like 19 million, which is as high as you can go. You're not doing that. They're not doing that. So I don't know that they're going to find their guy that way. And if you're going to offer that kind of money, that means you're giving up 4 first-round picks. I don't know if Montreal wants to give up their next 4 first-round picks. I mean, unless it's the absolute right guy that and they feel like that's the guy, we got to have him. I don't know. So I don't think so. Renegade Man says he thinks the final will go 6 games, Oilers in 6, depending on Skinner's play. See, I see it a little bit differently. I say this way. If it goes only 6, Florida wins. For Edmonton, for me, I think for Edmonton to win, it's going 7. So Florida in 6 or Edmonton in 7. I'm hoping Edmonton in 7. Would I like Edmonton in 6? Absolutely. I just don't think that it will happen that way. Could I be wrong? Absolutely. And you could be right and whatever, you know. Could they go after Rossi? You're talking about Montreal? Even if he's small? No, because he's small. It's a problem. Not that Rossi's not good and any of that, but you're not going far in the playoffs with 2 smaller centers as your 1 and 2. And is Nick Suzuki small? He is. He's on the small side. At 5'11", and the only thing at 210 pounds, his body is decent and he's got mass to him, but he's still on the small side. For me, in my opinion, you want the guy behind them to be bigger. I say 6'1" and up, and the bigger you can get them, the better. But not just he's bigger, so we'll take him. No, he's got to have all the other things you want. But so no. Unfortunately, here Rossi, I don't think is an option. I'll say that now. Watch tomorrow. They traded for Rossi. No, they're not going to. No, they need a big center. They need a big center behind Suzuki. And Rossi, I don't know if he's a proven enough guy yet, right? I don't know. He did it 1 year. I don't know if Rossi's had multiple high-pointed seasons. He hasn't, I don't think. I don't know. Are they going to bank on somebody like that? I don't know. I think they want somebody a little older than that as a minimum that has been in the league a few years and that they feel very comfortable will be able to do the job. Rossi is still a question mark somewhat. And he's too small, so. Just going off camera for a minute. You guys know why. I don't have to explain. I am right here, ain't going anywhere, just off camera. Just think of me like Hockey Junkie, who actually gets a mention in my new video. And BL Duff actually gets a mention in my new video. When the video comes out, BL, I believe you're on the second. I think you're on the second verse. Here, I'm working on it, so it's right in front of me. Hang on. Oh, that's not the part. Wrong part. Parts is parts. All right, I can't find it. Yeah, you're on the second verse of the intro, so you're right in the intro. Hockey Junkie's a little bit farther down. He's on the Hockey Junkie's in the verse for Bobby Clark. No, yeah, the second Bobby Clark verse. Because you all know Bobby Clark is the picture that Junkie uses. He might not still use it, but he always did. And it's my most hated players. So Bobby Clark was in that list. Even though I respect the hell out of that guy, I really do, but freaking hell, I hated him. But I respect the hell out of him for his diabetes and everything he did in the league and all that. I respect him, even though he's a dirty ass player. Phil says, what are we paying for Rossi? Is he near 200 pounds? He is not small, but if he is still 180, he is. I wouldn't pay for the first round pick. No, he's small. He's 5'9". He's small. So, no, what would they pay? I know Rossi's looking for 7x7. And he's an RFA, so. And it's going to cost you. I mean, it's going to cost you, a good. You're going to have to give up some good stuff to get him. BL, you should feel honored. You know what? I didn't plan to do it, but it just worked in. You'll see. You'll understand when you see it. It worked in perfectly. It wasn't in my mind to do it when I started writing, but it came up. So yeah. I don't know if that I should say it. Hey, I was in my mind the whole way. I was doing this just for you. Clark was talented, though. He was. Listen, Clark was he was a great hockey player, just dirty as fuck. He was dirty, but he was a great hockey player, no doubt. And when he's playing for your team, like when he was playing for Team Canada, you allow the dirtiness. But yeah, you got to give a guy his due as far as his talent level. And a great leader. I mean, he was a great leader for that team. He did that all having diabetes at a time when it's not like it is today. Way more difficult back then for an athlete to be a diabetic. So you got to give it to the guy. Even if it's reluctantly, you still got to give it to him. But I hated him. All right, BL, since you're here, you're perfect to ask this, and everybody in the chat that's here right now. I had a thought as I was, I guess, it was about 10 minutes I was waiting to get, for the show to start. I'm thinking of doing a show that's not hockey on this channel, but entertainment and talking about TV shows and movies like we were doing with Harry, but a much more cut down version, no longer than an hour, maybe once a week, once every 2 weeks. What do you guys think of that? We'll talk about movies and TV shows. Me and Matt and maybe a guest here and there. So I'm thinking of doing that and it's the summer. We'll do it in the summer and probably not in the hockey season. But Matt and I had a lot of fun doing that with Harry. When we did, I don't know if anybody saw those. We did, I think, 5 or 6 movie talk shows. It was a lot of fun. Way too long. We did it way too long. But I want to do a cut down version. Let me know here in the chat. There's 16 people here. What do you guys think of that? Hang on, just got a text. Not an important one, though. Nope. Well, Joe, I don't think it'll be a live stream. It would be a recorded thing. But maybe we do it live. We'll have to see. I know BL will like that. So, but maybe we might have to do it live if everyone wants to. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. Something like that live. I don't know. I haven't decided. I just thought of it just now. trivia was fun, and I want to do more of that. So summertime is great for that, and trivia would on Saturday Hockey Talk sometimes is great. So I haven't forgotten that. I don't know if I want to do a show that's just trivia, like a specific one. I'm not sure, but definitely there's going to be some more trivia being done. Yeah, I find trivia fun. I like playing Trivial Pursuit or stuff like. I love doing that. So I like doing that here, even though I'm the one asking the questions. But still, I like doing that. Let's see what else. I haven't really come up with any other ideas for any shows right now, but my brain's always, unfortunately, like always working 20 hours a day. I'm lucky it gives me 4 hours to sleep. I'm also going to be doing this is for members, but I think I'm going to do it separate ones for the channel, but not sure. I walk my dog 3 times a day during the day and once at night, but at night not good to film. Yeah, I'm thinking of taking my selfie stick and something comes up, and talking about that while I walk the dog, and just doing talks like that. So I'm going to try that with the members only, and if it goes well, I might do a few of those. I did some 3 years back before I hurt my knee, both knees. Yeah, I like doing those. I'm going to see if I can start doing those again now that I'm not walking with a cane anymore or any problems like that. So thing is, I want to try to get like a harness thing so I can the selfie stick will sit on off of my chest and I don't have to hold it. So I'm trying to do something like that. Bill says, speaking of series, yeah, you mentioned this to me the other day, no, like last week or something. Animal Kingdom. I loved Animal Kingdom. Great show. I also, would I put it in my top 10? No, I wouldn't put it in my top 10, but it would be in my top probably 30, which isn't too bad. Yeah, but my knees are good now. I don't wear the braces or anything. I walk on my own, no problem. So took a few years, but it's good now. Phil says, "Hey, old man, my guest asks if JGP could be a decent stopgap. If Darsh would let him go." Oh, I'm blanking on who JGP is. Darsh just got hired in on the island. Gabriel Pajot, Jean Gabriel Pajot. No, I don't think so. He's too small. Because if I'm correct, he's not very big. He's like 5'10", 5'9". He's not big, so no, he wouldn't do. But the idea of a guy that's 33 in that range at that kind of money, yeah, there are guys. There's a couple of free agents and stuff. So yeah, but I think Pajot is too small. Rick and his drone tour of Montreal. Now there's a guy already doing. It's not a drone tour, but he calls them quickie tours of Montreal. I don't know his name. I have him on Facebook Reels. And interesting. I got to tell you, I don't know if anybody follows that guy, but an interesting story. So I follow this guy, and like I watching him, and something he just makes me think he's gay, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that at all. And it's not like, oh, I can't watch the guy because he's gay. But I'm just thinking, this guy, he's gay. And anyways, the other day he does one, and he talks about it, that he's a proud gay Montreal man. He was showing a site and all that. I was like, oh, my gaydar must have been on. But he does these quickie tours of Montreal, different places. So I don't know if you find him on Facebook. It's decent, Gives you a little history of a bunch of different places. No, did that. Pajot, when you say he's decent, you're talking about a third line, or you're talking third or fourth line. He's not a second line center. So it's definitely a no. You signed Devo for free. Devo's not signing for free. Joe, yeah, there is. It's 100%. You're right. First one is resign, and the second one is resign. Most people don't put the hyphen. I don't let it bother me anymore. I do not use resign for resign, but it's one of those things people do. Second liners are not available. That's not true. That's not true. Number one. And number two is they are not going to reach and get a guy that's a third or fourth line center and install him in the second line position. They're not going to do that. And it's useless to do that. Why would you want them to? And no, Pajot is just, he's not good enough, in my opinion. He's not good enough. And he's small. I want a guy much better than that, and I want a guy probably 4 inches taller than him or more. As I said before, Habs are not signing somebody just to sign somebody. And I think they would rather sign Devo again for like 2 seasons than to sign somebody like Pajot. Because you might as well. I don't think you're going to get much different in anything. Your production's probably the same. I don't know how Pajot's at faceoffs, but production's probably the same. And Devo's bigger. Anyway, that's how I see it. Wow, did I really lose half the people in the chat? Oh well, let's hope more people come in. I'll be back on camera in about 2 minutes. I guess people don't like when I go off camera. I think going off camera is a lot better. Besides, we're trying to get some NHLers on, at least on the other channel, and they're very fussy about what kind of shows they go on. So that's why I can't do politics anymore, which is better for me to not do politics. And yeah, that's why I'm off camera for this. You know, it's funny, Joe, that you wrote that because about, I would say about an hour and a half ago, just before I went out to walk the dog, I'm in shorts and t-shirt, and it's like I'm getting cold, like my legs are cold. So I put sweatpants on, and I'm okay with the t-shirt still. But it's funny that you say that because it's kind of like that here, and we are in 2 different parts of the world. Snow down south in the snowy mountains. Nice. So you guys are heading into your fall? Is that what's going on? Because we're heading into our summer. Or are you heading into winter? I don't even know like the difference in the seasons there. And if you watch my video, what was it? I did one. I didn't talk in it. It's just a 3-minute silent one about trade targets. That's what it was. I had Larkin, I had Horvat, and I had Zibanejad. I don't think they are going to be acquired by Montreal, but as you say, they're apparently on the trade block. And their centers, and I think their possibilities, the Habs could afford them. Problem, all 3 of them signed long-term, and I believe Larkin and Zibanejad are at 8.7, and Horvat's at 8.5. So that's big contracts, long term. It's making a commitment if you trade for these guys, but they're possibilities. I put them in my video. You're already winter there. Started June 1st. Isn't that weird? June 1st, winter. That's so weird. Although June 1st here, it felt like we were about to, winter was coming. It was the weirdest, coldest, I don't know, just the most insane June 1st I've ever lived through. I don't think I've ever been through a June 1st with that kind of weather before. And the month of May was probably the coldest month of May in my life. Probably, or at least since, for a long time anyway. You guys that are out there, what are your ideas for the Habs for a second line center? You guys got any targets? I went through rosters, and I was on Puckpedia. I was looking at where the possibilities were, and for guys I think Montreal would look at, and I came up with what I came up with, but I don't have the knowledge of the players available and all that the Habs management has. But I'm very curious if you guys have any of your own that either you would like to see them target or that you think they might target. Zibanejad would be interesting. The weird thing I found with Zibanejad was he's listed as a C3, but if you look at his points production, that's not C3 points production. That's C2. So he'd be interesting, definitely. But like I said, long term, you got him long term and a lot of money. Yeah, BL, I agree with that. And as much as people, when I first mentioned it, and I mean others had been talking about it, but not a lot. And maybe not you particularly, but a bunch of people tell me I'm crazy. It's not going to happen. But the talk of that happening keeps heating up a little bit more and a little bit more. So I don't know if they could do that. That's the guy I'd go after. That's the guy I think would be would benefit them in a lot of other ways than just on the ice. Long weekend in Aussie land. Official start of the ski season. It's so weird. We're just getting our weather. It's June. We're almost at the solstice in the beginning of summer. Hey. But the problem with that, BL says taking a swing for the fences. Offer sheet McTavish. Problem with that is, what are you gonna pay him? Because they have way more money than we do. They got $38.6 million there, Anaheim, for next year. Like, what are you gonna offer him that they're not gonna match? Because I don't think they want to get rid of McTavish. So you'd have to make an insane offer. You're going to give up 4 first-round picks to get him, which is, that's probably fine. But what are you going to pay him that they're not going to match? So it's nice to talk about offer sheeting McTavish. I don't know that makes sense. Joe says if the Habs get Crosby, I would go nuts in a positive way. So would I. I think I'd totally flip. It would be awesome. That would be perfect for them. Crosby would fit the bill for the next 2-3 seasons till either Michael Hage is ready or somebody else is ready or they've acquired somebody else at that point. You know, plus the mentorship for Nick Suzuki, the teaching, the mentorship for everybody else on the team, all the young players, like, you know, just awesome. Joe, well, that's the point, right? Offer sheets will work with teams that can't match. In the Ducks case, they can match. And honestly, like, what are you going to offer him? That's not ridiculous, because if you're going to offer him something they can't afford, well, I don't know what. So if you go to the limit, 20%, I think is the highest contract you can have. You're offering him $19 million. You're really going to offer McTavish $19 million, even if it's just for one season, because that's what it would be. I would think one season, $19 million. They take it or leave it. Then you re-sign them to a lower amount after for the following, right? But still, they could match that. And do you really want to do that? I don't know. Personally, I don't think so. Honestly, now, BL, I'll say this. Anybody, in my opinion, anybody suggesting Tavares for Montreal, man, you're a traitor to this team. Come on. Sorry, my opinion. And I'm not holding it against you or anything like that, but man, no way. No fucking way do I want that guy on this team. What say everybody else, though? I don't think I could stomach it. Even though, you know what, he's been playing well. He may, be the right guy. He may be. The way he's been playing lately, he may be the right guy. I just don't want him. And one of the main reasons is before he signed with Toronto, in that negotiation, he used Montreal to get his deal done with Toronto without ever intending to come here. And at the time, I wanted him to come here. So, you know what? Fuck you, John Tavares. Go somewhere else. Oh, BL, I'm not saying you want it either. I'm not saying you're a traitor. But I'm just saying, if somebody is going to come out and say, yeah, I get Tavares, how could you want that if you're a real Habs fan? How? I don't get it. Not me. You got to be kidding me. We're at an hour already. This hour just went by like that. Wow. Anyway, I'll stay for a little bit longer, but not that much. I got to do my supper and all that stuff. It's 10 o'clock. I can't believe it's an hour. We're an hour in almost. I want people's opinion on that too, yes, but I think you're going to get more no's than yeses on that. There's a lot of teams, there's teams I don't like in general, but I don't care. I'll take players from there. You've been on the Leafs. I don't really want you. You've got the Leaf stink on you. Almost midday there, eh? Well, we're just about 10 p.m. here. And at the rate I've been going to bed, I'm up for another at least 5 hours. Unfortunately. Well, when we're done here, it's another reason why I can't stay too long. I've still got 10 overlays to make, so I'm halfway through the overlays for that video, and then just editing. And I would love to be able to get it edited and ready to put out for the morning and not have to do work on it tomorrow morning. So I want to work on that. I've been kind of procrastinating on it. The good thing is it's not a video that, timing it's fine. It's just it's an evergreen kind of video. But I hope you guys will like that. I wrote something for it, so that's something. It's pretty good. I think the poem's pretty good. Hang on. I want to highlight this. Quentin Byfield is probably not available, but man, he would look good in Blue Blanc Rouge. Yeah, it's probably not available. Quentin Byfield's not available. And if he were, I mean, what would he cost? Like, what would you have to give up to get a Quinton Byfield? So now the thing is, though, there are guys out there that are about to be a Quinton Byfield, that are like on the verge. That's the kind of guys, if they're going after a young guy, I'm talking about, that we might not know this, but they do because they're scouts and all that. They've got better knowledge than we do. Or they're going to go after somebody with experience that's a little older, in my opinion, 26 to 20, even 32 range, depending on, yeah, that's how I see it. But I don't know. Oh, I'm glad you brought that up. I just read that. Yeah, Natchez is apparently upset. Some folks in Colorado say, but the experts say he is not a center. What was he playing in Colorado? Wasn't he a center? I know he wants to be. And, maybe that's a guy the Habs can go after if they feel that he is a center. Obviously, if they don't feel it, they're not going to go after, because I don't think a winger is something that is needed here in Montreal. We've got plenty on the team now, and we've got guys in the wings waiting to come up that need spots. And if you're bringing in wingers, why? The thing we don't have is we don't have a second-line center anywhere near ready, so they need to go out and acquire one. We don't have enough right shot defensemen that are ready. We need two. We got one in Bacher, but we don't have two, so that's a spot that needs to be filled. Natchez is 1.88 meters tall. We're in North America here, Joe. We use feet and inches. 1.88 meters. See, a meter is 3.3 feet. He's 6'1" or 6'2". Is that right? Would that be right? It's weird. I mean, we're metric here. We don't use meters for height. As weird as that may sound. All right, let's go over a couple things before I go. Members. Tomorrow at 8. Tony says 6'2", so I got it right. Tomorrow at 8, members only live stream. If you are a member, top 6 or franchise player, which Joe's the only one that's franchise. You get this live stream. So that's at 8:00 tomorrow night. Yeah, I had some of the stuff listed here that I was going to talk about. I talked about it here, so I won't be doing that. We'll figure something out to do while we wait for people, or if I'm sitting there alone, I'll figure something out to do. Members only reaction video. I'm going to be doing that tomorrow, so look for that if you're a member. All members get those. Oh, no, none of you are here. That doesn't matter, that announcement. Yeah, that's it. I mean, Monday we're doing the game. It's our podcast night. That's when we record. So instead of doing that, we're going to do the game live. So everybody should be on hand for that. So look for that. It'll be on both channels. I am doing all the games. So even if I don't have the crew with me, I will be doing all the games. So like I did last night. And that's it. I got nothing else for that. Natchez, his father apparently is constantly interfering, grief to his agents, and insisting his boy is the number one center. Okay, I don't want Natchez anywhere near this team. There is, I mean, what was his name? I can't remember his goddamn name. I can't remember his name. His father was a big problem. The Russian kid there that, come on, someone help me. that we had here that we had to move because he was an idiot. His dad was always telling him the same kind of thing. And don't have to listen to your coach and all that. You don't want that. Eric Lindros, his parents were the problem with Galchenyuk. Thank you, JFed. We're a problem for like that in that way. Galchenyuk, his dad kept telling him, yeah, don't listen to your coach. Just do this. You don't have to work so hard, or like that kind of stuff. You don't want that. So that's true about Natchez and his dad. We don't want Natchez anywhere near this team. And sometimes, those are things that the team knows that we don't know. And you go, well, why wouldn't they be interested in a guy? We don't know that, but things like that, they're privy to, and goes like, yeah, we don't want that. Jafa says, Byfield, no thanks. Single-handedly cost LA series with his brain-dead selfish play. 40 seconds left. Chip the puck off boards. Selfish hero play. Yeah, he's also pretty young, you got to think he'll learn from that. So wouldn't really throw me off of Byfield, but Byfield's not going to be available. So, like, even thinking that it's not gonna happen. All right, I'm gonna take off. This was a lot of fun, and it went really fast. I appreciate it. I thank everybody for being here. Really do appreciate that, and all you members out there, thank you for being members. Hope to see not the roster spot, the top six forwards tomorrow, and Joe as a franchise player. If you can, hopefully I'll see you there. Hey, Charles, good to see you out there, Charles. I'm just on my way out. Good to see you though, Charles. Thanks for dropping by. And don't forget, Joe, if you have something that you might want me to write a poem about, just send me an email and I'll go off of that. If not, I'll come up with something. But if you have anything specific you might want me to write about, yeah, I'd love to hear that. All righty. Okay, all that good stuff. Thanks, everybody. Really appreciate it. Have a great rest of Saturday, and the great rest of the weekend. And if I don't see you as a member tomorrow, see you on Monday. And that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. Ciao. Have a great evening, everybody. And that's it. Ciao, everybody.